Alright guys, today I'll be reviewing Dark Matter Screamworks in Rochester, New York, specifically in Greece, and this is definitely a haunt I try to get out to every year. It's only like 25 minutes away from me, it's very close, so I come here every year, and this is my first time actually doing their blackout event, which is weirdly enough the third week of September, so I just did it, and I'll say it's average. It is very average. It's just like last year. I'm going to explain exactly what it kind of is, what changed from last year, how good it is, how good's the blackout, how good is all the sets, the actors, everything. So let's start out with the price. This is a pretty pricey haunt, I would say, for what you're getting. It's $30, which is kind of a lot for a haunt this size, I would say. I mean, I've seen cheaper haunts that are a bit better than this, so it's kind of disappointing, but also, I mean, it's whatever. I'm still willing to pay. The line was pretty much non-existent. Again, we went third week of September. Most people aren't thinking about Halloween and haunts and all this yet. So, yeah, I don't know why they do their blackout then instead of the first week of November like everyone else. But I don't know, maybe they have something else going on then. But anyways, we had absolutely no lines, our group of 5. It was a bunch of people from Ninja, so a bunch of kind of haunt GP, although I know a couple of them are definitely trying to get into more haunts and kind of become like enthusiasts almost. So that's cool. We're going to go to a bunch this year, but yeah, anyway, starting off light, we've got, I think it's called Circus of the Damned. This was a okay haunt. There weren't really any scares. It's just kind of a normal circus haunt. You've got one of those tunnels, and by the way, skip this video if you don't want spoilers. Like, there's going to be some spoilers, so definitely leave if you don't want any of those. I'm not going to try to spoil too much, but I'll give credit where credit is due and like decent spots of the haunt. So, Circus of the Damned, nothing too particularly good. However, there's this one kind of like prop that looked really cool where it like jumped out at you. It wasn't an animatronic, it was kind of like a giant puppet. So that was really cool. And also they had like one of those like hamster tunnels. Those are those are always a personal favorite of mine. I really like those. Yeah, nothing really else much to say about this one. And this is really where I started to notice that this wasn't much of a blackout. Okay, they give you a glow stick at these blackout events. That's what they do in Fright World. That's what they did here. It's bright. And I mean, I put the glow stick in my pocket. Like, I didn't even use it, and I could still see pretty well. It's definitely not a blackout. I was expecting like nightmares in Niagara Falls, where it's like you're feeling around, like you might as well have your eyes closed. I was expecting that, which I mean, I really shouldn't have. Fright World didn't even kind of have that. I mean, they had some rooms that were like that, but not a ton. And I imagined if we used the glow stick, it would just be really bright in there. So, not too happy about that. And that was kind of the theme for all of them. But anyways, you get out of Circus of the Damned, you go to Contagion. This is another pretty average one. There was one good scare, and I mean, yeah, you know what? If you don't want to know what happens, just skip ahead. You shouldn't be watching this video anyway if you don't want to know what happens. But basically, there's a guy, and he's standing there, and you think he's a prop. And like, I kind of expected him to jump out, because like that's kind of a classic trick. You act like a prop, and then you jump out at the last minute. But yeah, we just walked by him, and nothing happened. And then I was in the back for this scare, so it really got me. Like, this was one of the 2 times that they actually got me, this whole haunt, which is kind of sad, but I definitely liked this one, like, particularly the most, I would say, because he stood there. I thought he was done. I thought that was just a prop, because we turn into the next room, and out of nowhere, that same guy just comes up and, like, bangs, like, a pan or something. I don't know what it was, but, yeah, does that, snarls, and, like, that got me because I was not expecting anything like that, so that was cool. Other than that, Contagion's, it's fine. It's themed to like a pandemic almost, but there's not really a whole lot. I will say there's like a couple actors that are kind of like, they're good. They kind of remind me of the actors in Asylum at Fright World, actually, which is definitely high praise because those guys were really good. They weren't quite as energetic as them, but they definitely seemed like disturbed mental patients, kinda. And also, I want to say, like, don't ever say get out. Don't use get out as your like big scare, because someone definitely used that in here, and I was like, come on, like you can't be doing that. There's nothing scary about that. Like, if you're watching this and you're an actor, don't use get out as like your big scare. So next we move into House of Krampus, and I noticed most of these haunts are pretty short, like under 3 minutes I'm talking. So you're not really spending a whole lot of time in these, and especially House of Krampus felt really short. This was probably the shortest. But yeah, I mean, it's House of Krampus. There's Christmas stuff all over the place. The Krampus guy at the end is pretty cool. Other than that, I mean, not really scary in my opinion. Um, I know someone in our group definitely got a really good jump scare last year from Krampus, but yeah, that was something. But yeah, anyways, not too much there. Then you've got Phobia. This is probably my favorite haunt, actually. I love the theme of just phobia. I mean, there's nothing else. There's nothing else to it. You've got spiders, heights, snakes. Like, it's really cool. They do have the snake animatronics. I'm really happy about that. Those are really cool. They're not the raccoons, no. I would have loved to see the raccoons in here, but those might be a Fright World only thing. I'm not sure. If not, they're extremely rare, I know. So yeah, I don't blame them for not having raccoons. But yeah, the snakes are cool. They move. They like spit water at you. They have this like room where like you're kind of staring down, and it like gives you an illusion that you're like way high up. Like, that's not really scary for me because I'm obviously not afraid of heights, but yeah, like that's a really cool illusion. I like that. There's the turd tunnel. You always get one of those at one of these haunts. I'm not too big of a fan of those, especially like when my dad's doing it, which he didn't do this one, but I know whenever my dad does one of these, he's like, yeah, I gotta skip this part. Like, he just looks for a different route. There were some other cool effects in there, but nothing really too much to write home about. And then you've got my favorite from last year, and probably my second favorite this year, Blood Manor. There was one scare in particular, and it was the very last scare. Oh my god, this one was so good. This might actually been better than the Contagion one, actually, because instead of acting like a prop, this guy acted like an animatronic. So basically, he was doing like the normal like haunt animatronic motions, like spasms and all that. Like, we were convinced he was an animatronic, and now me and my friend Alex were at the front, so we saw it first. So we're like, oh yeah, that's a cool effect there or whatever. And then all of a sudden he jumps out of the chains and like runs up to our faces. Like, that was, yeah, I'm giving that the best actor of the night. That was an amazing play right there. I mean, yeah, I did not expect him to come out of that. Like, he looked like an animatronic. That was amazing. That was great acting. That's what you should strive for if you're an actor. Other than that, not too many great actors, but I mean, actually, there was a security guy who had to just enter in, and he actually scared like everyone in our group somehow, and that was kind of funny. He wasn't dressed up or anything. So yeah, Blood Manor, probably the best sets. Actually, no, I take that back. Phobia definitely has the best sets, but yeah, Blood Manor's still really good. And yeah, that's it. There's only one actor walking around. I will say he was pretty good. I definitely liked him. You have to go in a certain order, which I definitely don't like. Overall, is it a great haunt? No. Is it a terrible haunt? No. If I had to rank the 5 haunts, I'd say 5 House of Krampus. What's next? Probably 4 Circus of the Damned. Yeah, I'll do that. 3 Contagion, 2 Blood Manor, and 1 Phobia. I think other than Blood Manor and Phobia, like, the others are just kind of meh. And Blood Manor and Phobia are pretty good, but still nothing too crazy for the price and all the other things. I will say the biggest benefit is you're not going to have to wait here. Even when I went in like October, I think, last year, it wasn't very busy, and especially this time it wasn't. The blackout was a bit of a disappointment, I'll say, but I'm still willing to give this place a 5 out of 10, or I'll pretty much just give it a 501 out of 1,000. I mean, it's pretty much a 5 out of 10, basically. as close as you get to average. It's, yeah, it's just an average haunt. That's pretty much all there is to it. You're not getting Grizzly's Trail of Terror. You're not getting Jungle Apocalypse over at Darien Lake. Like, it's a fine haunt. It's a good time. I'm still willing to go here because it's so close. But it's definitely not something I'm, like, dying for. It's not something I'd be willing to drive, like, an hour and a half for, let's say that. So that's my review of Dark Matter Screamworks this year. Let me know what you guys think of this haunt down in the comments below if you've been before, or especially if you've been this weekend. Yeah, let me know all that down in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.